Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. I have read, if you will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of the coffin. You try lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening the lid. You just think you're going to die. You think maybe if I bang on the lid, I'll unsettle the dirt, and somebody might notice the dirt moving and start digging their way down towards me. This is what it's like to feel at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, you just think somebody has ignored you and you're just going to die. Usually, though, you don't think about death when you're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you're abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose and take something away that God has given you called life? With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that went to their grave without seeking any help whatsoever. They never picked up the phone. They never seek counseling. Instead, you be the better person. Pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP. I promise you I'll help you take your life back. For your life is gone. People like Larry, guys who have over 30 years experience as an addiction recovery coach and a life coach, they can help you also. Give them a call at 516-458-2741 or go to www.odysseyconsult.org. Larry Geis and I always tell folks like you, it doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters most is that you're here today looking for a better tomorrow. Call Larry, 516-458-2741. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. Folks, I want to remind you, each and every night when you take your slippers off before you jump into bed, instead of just leaving by the edge of your bed, stick them under your bed, way under. That way in the morning, when God allows you to wake up to see that beautiful stream and the waterfall behind me, and you look outside and you hear the birds chirping, get on your knees to get those slippers, because they're under your bed. You left them there. While you're on your knees, ask God for guidance and direction. Ask God for mercy and forgiveness. Thank God for having a home, for having a family, for having health, for having clothing and food. Do this each and every night. Stick your slippers under the bed, and then each and every morning, get on your knees to retrieve those slippers and have your personal chat line with God. Your life will start changing tremendously, but you need to start doing that, and you have to do it consistently. At night, slippers under the bed. In the morning, get on your knees and retrieve them and pray to God. I call this need mail, K-N-E-E mail. Your personal chat line between you and God. Now put those slippers on, my friends, and walk with God 24/7. When bad news strikes, folks, it's not the end of the world. It isn't the end of the world. Okay, so your 401k just lost $50,000. You have cancer. I don't love you anymore, you heard from your partner. Those words can cause your adrenaline to start pumping in your mind, to start racing to the worst case scenarios in a matter of seconds. That fight or flight response can kick in pretty quick. Maybe you've heard these particular words said to you, but no one is immune to receiving a piece of bad news at some point in their life. Let's go down a little bit. So how do we process whatever it is that we need to process and then move on to deal with the issue at hand? How can we make sure that not to let the pieces of bad news we receive define our entire day, our entire life, who we are, or what we are afraid we will become? First and foremost, it's important to stay in the present moment. Breathe. Easier said than done, I know, but it is essential to try to quit and to quiet the mind and the body. When our bodies are in distress, the adrenaline gland secretes the hormone cortisol. High levels of cortisol can put someone in greater risk of heart disease. The limbic area part of the brain, which includes the hippocampus and amygdala, hold different forms of memory, the facts and emotions that are part of our history. Earlier traumas can be revived on a physical and emotional level. Try to calm yourself down, as hard it might be. Do you see how I'm talking calmly? Sometimes closing your eyes for a few minutes helps. Focusing on breath, conjuring up a pleasant, non-emotional, charged image. Try it. Even just repeating the word calm over and over can help. Research dating back way to 1960s from Herbert Benson, MD, in his book, The Relaxation Response, along with present-day studies, laud the benefits of meditation and exercise as stress reducers that can lower your blood pressure, relax your muscles, and slow your heartbeat. Staying in the present but becoming more conscious and mindful about how the past may impacting the present reaction is a good first step towards relaxing. Reminding yourself about previous successful coping strategies and difficult situations that you, my friend, have solved. How did you get back on track after suffering from a major setback in the past? Was it talking to others who may have experienced a similar difficulty? Was it gathering more information about the particular problem you are facing? Remember, we've all been successful at some time in our lives, even though recalling it might escape us from the moment. We've all had our downfalls. Big or little, it doesn't matter. Just recalling it can temper the immediate panic, despair, and provide some relief. The trick is to allow yourself to see it and not belittle it when you do. Learning not to globalize situations is also extremely important to processing bad news. Don't future trip. While it is important to acknowledge the potential negative ways this news may impact you and plan accordingly, don't create scenarios that may never happen. Conversely, sticking your head in the sand and denying the realities the bad news may have in the present can make a bad situation even worse. Being able to have a balanced perspective, accepting all feelings, both good and bad, that the news elicits is what will help you get through the present scenario. Wondering what could be about bad news. It may be present opportunity to reevaluate priorities. What about what and who is important to you? Encourage more self-reflection. Introduce you to people and situations you might never have known before. Take away, breathe, calm yourself. These are techniques. Stay in the present, but reevaluate the past. Remember and utilize past successful strategies. Don't globalize. Don't be Mr. or Mrs. Negativity or Pollyanna. Identify and appreciate new opportunities daily. Breathe. Close your eyes. Picture an image. The image could be a child or a grandchild or a beach. Now open your eyes and relax. These are techniques, examples, how to calm yourself down during trying moments. Everyone has bad news sooner or later. Everyone. The situation here is to get through the bad news without hurting yourself. Bad news is not the end of the world. It's the start of a new beginning. Give me a call at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I'll help you take your life back.
but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there. Did Did you feel all hope was gone? But in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. I have ready for you, will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right.